The directive to charge 23 people over the fraudulent activities of the government advertising agency comes after 2 months of investigations unearthed what has been described as NYS-style scandals.
We only have 14 companies that were affected at that particular time. But
the probe indicates that the Lugari MP Ayub Savula and his 2 wives, Gatwiri and Hellen Kemboi, through their companies listed as Sunday Publishers, Melserve Company, Johntown Communications, Express Media Group, No Bonds Agencies Limited, Cross Continents Ventures and Shidlock Limited, were fraudulently paid some 122 million shillings by the government advertising agency. The said fraudulent payments were allegedly approved by the then Principal Secretary in the State Department of Broadcasting and Telecommunications, Sammy Itemere. The Director of Public Prosecutions, Nurin Haji, now wants the former PS alongside Dennis Kuko Chebitwey, a director at the GAA, Dixon Onyala, Henry Musambaga, Frederick Okello, Edith Kainda, Gladys Hadida, Agren Jessica, Martin Joroge, Joseph Kamau, amongst others, to be prosecuted over the fraud. The prosecutions, which will begin on Monday when the accused are arraigned in court, were triggered by complaints to the Office of the Director of Public Prosecutions over debts owed by the government advertising agency to media houses. At the time, the media houses were demanding more than 2.5 billion shillings from the GAA for services rendered but not paid for.
When the government pays us, this money will come back and this performance actually can double, because if we get the 800, that 1.1 will go almost 2 billion. That's the real impact of the performance. And this is a problem which is affecting all the media houses. We have withdrawn credit. We are not running any advertising for the government until they pay us this debt. And we are very clear on that, yeah?
They take services and goods from the average Wananchi and do not pay those debts. It's criminal and unacceptable. How do you get a small SME, a small mamaduka, supplies you vegetables or whatever it is, and then you don't pay them at the end of the month? And yet, we pay taxes so that the government can run all their functions, including whatever activities they want to do.
The government advertising agency was set up in 2012 with the aim of helping government cut down on advertising expenditure. Through this arrangement, the MyGov was to be published as a 30-page insert in newspapers with nationwide reach twice a month at much lower rates. This move was criticized as cutting off revenue for private media houses. The 23 people accused of involvement in the fraud will face charges ranging from conspiracy to commit a felony, abuse of office, obtaining money by false pretense, making a document without authority, and aiding the commission of a felon. Ayub Savula's arrest comes barely months after he was publicly quoted as advocating for the execution of those caught in corruption scandals. It remains to be seen whether he will still be holding the same views now that he has been caught in that same graft net. Brenda, Wanga, NTV, Nairobi.